natural versus habitual. This one may not seem so obvious on the surface. There are so many things that we do that are habitual that seem really natural. Like maybe we get up in the morning and make some coffee and have some eggs and toast, right? Seems very natural, but is that natural or is that habitual? If we go to another country, we'll see people with different morning habits. They may not even drink coffee, who knows? So we can say it's natural to eat for sure, but is that natural to have coffee in the morning? When we're looking at this key distinction, one of the ways that we really look at what is natural and what is habitual is that our habits are something that are trained into us. We weren't necessarily born with them. They're not inherent to us as human beings. And this is not only what you are going to have for breakfast, like, your morning routine, but this is also the thoughts you think, right? If you were told that you're stupid, lazy, and clumsy as a child, then you start to build in this habitual thought pattern. I'm stupid, I'm lazy, and I'm clumsy. And then you might build habits, which is that I avoid difficult classes, I avoid sports, and I sleep a lot. And you start to build those habits because now you believe a conditioning in your mind about being stupid, lazy, and clumsy. Right? So those become habits, but those are habits that are based in a conditioning. And when you change the conditioning, those habits can change. What is natural is having feelings and having needs. I want to be healthy. I want to have well-being. I want to be competent, capable. I want stability. I want safety. I want adventure, right? So those are very natural. We're driven to meet our precious needs. That is intrinsic within us. We might form habits to seek to meet those needs. We might form habits that undermine those needs. How many people would love to increase their financial well-being? How many people would love to lose some weight and build more muscle, lose fat, build muscle, right? So they would love the freedom that financial abundance would give them. They'd love the freedom that a healthy, fit body would give them. And yet they have habits of maybe undermining that. They might have habits of, well, I'd really love to get in shape, but I just need some ice cream right now. I'd really love to get in shape, but I just don't want to go to the gym today. They might have habits that are seeking to undermine that natural desire for well-being, that natural desire for a freedom of choice. I love financial well-being, but I feel confronted by the steps it would take to increase my income. I want to buy this trinket that I don't need because I want to, right? We can have emotional habits around purchasing things that we didn't need. So these habits are conditioned into us. Habits can change. It can take some work because sometimes they're pretty deeply conditioned, but our habits can change. What's natural always is that longing to meet a precious need, longing, value, or desire. Again, those ones that are listed on this sheet. That is what is natural, is to want to meet these, to want to fulfill on those energies. And so the challenge is to take that natural longing and to notice which habits are not serving the fulfillment of that longing so that you can find more power to adjusting the habits that are not serving you. When it comes to communication, some of the habits that are not serving us, those are the jackal ear habits. The ones of letting that reptilian brain run the show, fight, flight, freeze, in the form of blame, shame, power over, using some kind of threats or manipulation. Those are habits that are not going to serve the natural values that we have for harmony, for connection, for cooperation, for companionship. And so the tools of nonviolent communication and understanding these key differentiations help us to move from these habits over to these habits by using our natural inclination to move towards the fulfillment of our needs and our longings. So again, natural versus habitual. What we're looking at is that our habits are taught to us, they're conditioned into us, and our natural values they're natural in us, right? We are driven towards meeting our values. So the challenge is to be able to notice where our habits are not supporting our natural values, and to bring awareness to that so that we can start to shift the habitual patterns. We can lean on the blessing of neuroplasticity. We can actually build new habits. We can build new neural pathways and new ways of being that are going to support the precious values, needs, longings, and desires that we're naturally seeking to fulfill.